Increase your intuition, psychic abilities. When we're talking about the third eye, opening it, talking about the center, an energy, or some call it a vortex center, in the center of your forehead, here as if your third eye, your inner sight. There are many ways to open your third eye, and some of what you've already heard on this topic, I like to speak to saying, yeah, some of it's true, and some of it is, let's just call it pure BS. BS, belief systems, as Tony Robbins calls it, BS, and you know what BS stands for. What you can do to change this belief system is try it out for yourself and tell me if what I'm saying makes sense to you logically and intuitively. So when we're speaking the third eye, let's make sure we're understanding a concept that we all can get on board with, regardless of where your beliefs come from. And without the words, or the bogus words, or the new age words, I could say words to you like alignment, and vortex, and dimension, and reality. And while I may mean some of these words are said to you because they know that people resonate with them because of what they've been told or not told about them. So let's go beyond the words, please. The first step to opening your third eye, what I would use is color therapy. The color in there is the indigo ray. Much like this glass that is indigo colored, you can wear that color more. You can have stones or crystals or objects or colors that you wear. Why would you want to have the third eye open? Because it will increase your intuition, psychic abilities. Some see auras. There's also changing our perception. It's not just opening our psychic ability. It's opening our abilities to perceive and understand that which we call life and ourselves. If you perceive yourself to be a powerful being, wouldn't that be an amazing thing to feel and think and be? So when we're talking about the third eye opening, intuition, psychic abilities, yes, there's so much more. I've witnessed many famous YouTube stars who are quote-unquote in the spiritual categories who talk about the subject of the third eye, and while I appreciate in their contribution, how much of them are sharing their personal experience. I'm not here to prove you to say it's right or wrong. Yes, psychic abilities exist, but I will tell you my experience so you can make your own decision, and then we'll get into the why and the how even more. I gave intuitive reading, psychic, whatever word we'd like to use. In high school, I did not charge for these readings. I started refusing them at lunch hour to people who were interested. I also gave readings professionally around the world, such as in my travels, usually was unpaid, but I also have been paid for them. I gave them the most famously well-known one is the Drake Hotel in Toronto. For those who are aware of that place, was my most notable venue where I gave them to people from all walks of life. There are things that you can definitely do in your diet, and it is, yes, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, eating healthy, helpful, definitely. However, I mentioned this in my intuition workshop as well in my book, Easy Enlightenment, which I discover many topics beyond intuition about empowerment and how you can go forward in your life. It is not just about the food. You hear me? Not just about the food. Go beyond the food. Yes, it can be helpful, but it isn't about that. Stop thinking it's the food that's making you psychic. It's you who makes you intuitive. It's you who makes you psychic. When I started opening to these abilities, I was not vegetarian. I started becoming vegetarian in high school. It starts with your belief in yourself. How much are you surrounding yourself with this? So that's my prescription for you. If you want to open your third eye more, surround yourself with people movies, books, films that highlight your spiritual abilities. Maybe it's the movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg. That one's good. Also has some funny moments in it. There are many examples. Maybe it's if you're looking at opening your third eye spirit communication, watch Beetlejuice, and where Lydia's speaking to the dead, she sees it as normal. Surround yourself with these feelings, these thoughts. Start ingraining it. Start making it your normal every day. And then it will be your normal every day. When we're speaking of sight, we're not just talking about illuminating our clairvoyance and what we see in our mind's eye, but also what we feel, clairsentience, you've heard this before, and clairaudient, what you hear. It doesn't matter what word we call it. You get the messages in any ways. There are some activities I definitely recommend. That would be meditating. Do that for 10-15 minutes. Some sort of a way to quiet the mind so that you're able to get there. You can listen to music. Another way to increase your intuition is to dedicate that you promise that you will use your abilities for the highest good of all, that you will not use it to harm anybody, that you use it to share. With this ability, you don't have to share it with others, but if you do, there is a responsibility that comes with it. To give the messages as you receive them. They may not always be in ways that you understand, but you will, in time, practice, 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 practice. How you get a feeling, notice it, write it down. When they come true, boom, write it down. That was interesting. Even if they don't come true, just keep playing with it and going with it. And in time, you'll start to develop your own rhythm of what your way of perceiving the other beyond 5, 6 sense, go into the 6th sense. Our chakra system goes up. If you want to go to the third eye, interestingly, the first is the base, second is the navel, third is the solar plexus, fourth is the heart, fifth is the throat, and sixth, the 6th sense, the third eye. Not a coincidence. You ever seen the movie The Sixth Sense? 6, other sensory perception. ESP, whichever word we want to call it. I like to call it intuition because psyche thinks of the psyche, the mind, and intuition is inside yourself. Your focus. Can you focus? Focus. Learn to focus your mind. So it's not just quiet the mind, focus it. Can you close your eyes right now? Here's something you can do. You can imagine the third eye opening. You don't have to picture a literal eye. Imagine a light is turned on. Can you imagine it? The light, that chakra rules the sensory, like the base is earth, then it goes up for water, fire. This one is ruled by light. So can you see light there? Can you imagine a light switch? And can you imagine turning on that light switch? Can you imagine the square or the round knob that you use to flick the switch on? Boom. You've now turned on your sense that you can control this, that you asked to do this. Can you picture this happening? Then you can go further. Can you picture an orange? Can you picture that round orange? Start to make it as real as possible. Can you cut the orange in half? In your mind, open it up. What does it look like? You see the intricate designs. Focus on something and see it in your mind's eye. Now that you've done that and you have to expand your perception, it's not just about you. You may get things you don't understand because you aren't always in your perspective, you're on somebody else's. You can go, is this mine? Is this someone else's? This is real. Do you see it as real? You open your third eye by allowing it. How many times have you had dreams about something and then they ended up happening and then you say to yourself, well, I'm not intuitive, I'm not psychic. Let's change that today, right now. I'm intuitive. You can say I don't understand it yet, but I'm on my way to understanding it. But yeah, I am intuitive. I just don't, maybe I didn't think of that way in the past, but that doesn't matter. You can decide right now that I'm intuitive. I am intuitive. Keep doing that. So can you imagine with your mind? Can you surround yourself with images, movies, books, subject matter that gets you into that feeling, into that mindset? and gets you excited about it. Makes you feel that. It's not just how we see. As an example, they said they could sense how people were feeling or what the kind of person, their mood they were in. They said the example of that person smells they smelled like a warm loaf of bread. They said that person seems very fresh and alive. Somebody else, they smelled to them like a sour lemon. They're like, ooh, this person's in a bad mood, it's sour. And sure enough, they were. There are so many ways that our intuition from our third eye opens up and is delivered to us if we simply claim it, and it's also acting on it. You can receive hits of intuition, but how much do you act on it? If you feel, I must go here, do you go? Do you not go? If you feel you shouldn't go somewhere, do you listen? Notice when you do. Keep enjoying it. Share it with others. You can say with someone, I'm not sure if I'm getting this feeling. I don't know if it's real or not, but I just have this feeling and knowing, I can't explain it. Is this true? Now, some people might be scared by what you see in them, and they may deny and say, no, it's not true. And sometimes it is, but you hit a nerve with them. So be mindful of that. It's many ways to act on it, to share it, to express it, to live it. Sometimes it's a simple thought. Catch a thought you had. My example, I went to New Orleans. I had this thought. It kept coming up again. New Orleans. It's like a clairaudience. I have to go to New Orleans. Let's go to New Orleans. August 29th, everyone was saying I should go that day. Yes, that's the day to go. I was originally supposed to go the day that Hurricane Katrina hit. But I said no. I'm going to go. And I need to go now. And when I got there, I had some really wonderful experiences. Yet when I was there, I had a feeling that I should leave. Because I was going to stay longer. But I knew, no, I should go. It wasn't a strong feeling, but it was there. And I listened to that feeling, and thank God that I did. Because I would have been in that experience. And my heart goes out to the victims of Hurricane Katrina who still live with it today. What happened to them. I'm glad I got out of that experience. Sometimes your intuition can happen by what does not happen to you, not just what does happen. And you may think, well, nothing happened, then how do I know it's true? You will know, maybe later on. And sometimes you won't know. It has to be open. Open your heart, yes, and open your mind. Literally. Open them. Well, don't cut your head off. It may come to you. Sometimes it's quick, fast. Little thing that comes. They don't always yell. Sometimes they whisper. The more we open our third eye, the wonderful gifts that come to us. There are many ways to get there, and how you get there is up to you. Diet is one way to help, but the main way is get yourself in the feeling, believe, know that you do not know why you know, but that you do know. That is the secret magic that I have to say differently. You know without knowing, without fully understanding, and remember to act on your intuition. And as you act on it, your confidence grows, and you will believe that you are intuitive, and you will know that you're intuitive, and it won't just be a thought or a feeling, it'll be I know it's true because I've proven to myself in the past. Remarkable things. Regular things. But let me finally say this about diet. While it doesn't matter what you eat, back in the old days of many famous people that were known to be intuitive, such as Nostradamus, they did not eat the foods that had the amount of preservatives, and I recommend that you cut back your intake on alcohol and other drugs or substances. That will definitely be a huge help as well, not impeding. But knowing even if you do those things, messages can come through, but if you want them to come through faster and clearer, give a pause, try it for a week or two without it. Practice sensing things, feeling things in your body. Becoming aware. It's probably been happening to you all the time. You just didn't you didn't know. Sometimes ask yourself, is this mine or is this someone else's? And be amazed how your third eye remains open. And be aware of what you take in your perception of yourself and the perception of the things that you put your attention on in your life. And you'll see your eye opens. Not because I say it. You'll find it out for yourself. Have a magical day.